One of my highest values is truth, honesty, and congruency. And there is some sort of phrase, something like, if you are enlightened, you would not talk about enlightenment. But according to my principles, I disagree with that. And there's a term in, I believe, Japanese Zen called Satori, which means an enlightenment experience. In my own translation, Satori would be an experience of ultra-high consciousness. A Satori is more of something you feel. It's a feeling. I can't logically explain what a Satori is to you, but it's something that you will feel. It's a sensation. And what the Satori is an experience. And the way they've played out for me is they've been like a series of experiences, lots of different small things over a certain amount of time that build up. And what a Satori is these experiences that are basically magical, just magical experiences that happen that put your brain into the state of ultra-high, in a state of ultra-high consciousness. And in that state, you just have amazing, insane insights about life. You could call them enlightenment insights about what existence is, what's going on, what is life, what's going on. And in these higher states of consciousness where a string of events maybe happened, maybe it was one big event, but in some way or form you have this experience that transforms your consciousness at an insane level, and you feel like you get this divine insight on what life is happening. You get this amazing feeling within you. And now there are two types of Satoris. There are Siddhi Satoris, which are false Satoris, which are Satoris of the ego. And I've had some Siddhis before. It's basically a state of super high consciousness that you get by doing something where the underlying level is coming from your ego, which is completely fine. But an example, lots of guys in the pickup artist scene, which I used to kind of, I used to do those pickup artist videos, but lots of guys get into a very high state of consciousness by getting rejected by a bunch of girls. If you could get rejected by 50 girls in one night, and you do whatever it takes to, no matter what, try to be successful with girls, some guys are known to get into almost have Satori-like experiences or states of ultra-high consciousness because your ego is just rejected, and each rejection feels really good, and eventually by the end of the night you're in what Simple Pickup calls a God mode. And I would call those almost like Satori experiences, but those are definitely Siddhi, which are false Satoris. They are Satoris of the ego, states of super high consciousness of the ego, and I've experienced some of those, and those are really fun. But lately I have actually had true Satoris, which I'll give you some examples. It's kind of hard to talk about because the whole string of events, all the coincidences that happened, the perceptions on my mind of how I was seeing things, it's all just magical. But a true Satori, I feel, is you just feel this divine love, just feel your senses. Let me just give you an example. So Satori experience is usually a string of events, a string of different things, but I would just like to share one Satori experience that I've had with you guys that was in the string of things that I had. And now Satoris, my most it's hard to talk about. My most intense Satoris have been when I've been completely sober. And I don't want you to take drugs because I've said I've had the Satori on a drug, because I'm going to explain the story that I've done. I actually discourage drugs. You should only do it if you really feel it's the right thing to do. You feel it's healthy and you're at least 22 years old. But drugs can be very, very bad and damaging, and I highly recommend you don't take drugs. But me and a friend were on MDMA, and we had a whole string of awesome events happen. And anyways, we're at a 7-Eleven, and some of our friends there's this guy at the front of 7-Eleven who's just looking very depressed, and he's looking like life just kind of crashed on him. And some of our drunk friends kind of tried to talk to him because he was drunk, and you could instantly tell he kind of was scared away by the drunk people, and he kind of instantly hid away. But anyways, me and my friend who were on MDMA, we're just feeling we're just vibrating with love. we're just feeling amazing love, and we're in this state of hyper empathy. And we sense his depression, and we sense his disastrous outlook on life right now, and we kind of go up to him and we just talk to him and we have a cool conversation with him, and he instantly kind of opens up to us and senses that he could trust us, and that we were vibrating from love, and that we were interacting with him in a purely love way. And as we ended up talking to him outside the 7-Eleven, and he opened up that his daughter was really sick and in the back of his truck. We ended up walking 2 blocks away and having more of a conversation with him. I remember at one point he had turned around to do something, and I was standing right beside him. I was standing right behind him, and he told me, I've never let someone stand right behind me because I don't trust people. But for some reason, I just met you, but I trust you standing right beside you because you're just like vibrating with love. And we ended up like filling his truck with gas, and he ended up asking us some questions. He said, is it okay for me to smoke weed? And the thought I had in my head was, me and my friend's eyes are kind of big from the MDMA. How we were interacting with this guy was from a place of pure love. Like, I literally felt the sensation in my mind. It was like this divine love was washing through me and doing the interaction for me. It wasn't me, but it was this love. You could call it God if you want, but it was love coming through me and doing the interaction with this guy. And I think he thought we were angels. As weird as that sounds. We were these 2 people. We did take drugs, but we had this feeling of pure love, how we were interacting with him. We were helping with him. Our eyes are big, kind of funny. And he ended up asking us questions like, is it okay to do weed? I think he was interacting with us as if we were angels. At first we were a little confused, and we were like, wow, this guy thinks, like the thought in my head was, he thinks we're an angel. And he started asking us questions about how he should live. He asked like 2 questions about how he should live his life. And it was a really magical experience. That was one of like a string of experiences of this Satori. And it's funny, I had another Satori experience at another 7-Eleven in a different city, where a person was outside a 7-Eleven. This is after a string of really cool events. So I was kind of in this really high state of consciousness, just how I was interacting with life and in the moment. I walk into the 7-Eleven, just kind of a random thing, and I see another guy in front of the 7-Eleven. This is no drugs, but I'm in this Satori-like state of super high consciousness, and I feel just like this divine love coming into me. And the feeling was, it was doing me, the love was doing me. I was like possessed with God. I was possessed with love, whatever word you want to say, whatever language you want to use. And I was just drawn to talk to him. And I had a deep, like, the words of what to say just came to me, of what to say. And I empathized with this guy, and I just kind of gave him love. And it was another like Satori experience, where it was just a string of really insane events of taking life to the limit. And it was a feeling of just divine love washing through me and taking over me, and it was doing me. And true Satoris are cosmic consciousness experiences on a very high level. Drugs don't have anything to do with them, but it's where you feel that the underlying energy of what existence is, of what the world is love. And at the very bottom of the illusion of what life is, everything is unconditional love. And the feeling that I had on these like Satori-like experiences was, it was doing me. That I just had to let go and trust, and that the love energy would work through me. And like the thought in my head during one of these things was, this is the experience that probably like Jesus and like Buddha experienced too, for them to have so much faith in life and for them to be great teachers. But they've probably had these experiences where they feel God, they feel love, they feel whatever you want to call it, and it works through them, and it does them. And I've had some of those experiences. I've had some of those Satoris. I've had some cities where my ego has had high consciousness, but now my latest experiences of ultra high consciousness have been Satoris, of where it's just letting go. The adjectives I want to use are let go, humble, it does you. It feels amazing, but it's this feeling that that life is just a big game, and that we're all in this together, and that everything secretly is exactly what we want to happen. The sad stuff, the wars, it's all part of the yin-yang dance. But at the end of this game, at the end of the play, the underlying thing is love. And then every moment, we have the choice. Are we acting out of love, or are we acting out of ego? And after I've had these Satori experiences, it's almost like I have an afterglow where it still is doing me. Right now I feel it's doing me. It's letting go, it's being humble, it's trusting, it's faith in life itself. You could say faith in God, you could say faith in the universe, it's faith in life, but it's faith because this experience was so powerful. Magical things were unfolding, and it was doing me that it's something that is in my mind forever, this Satori-like experience. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. There's a really awesome Alan Watts talk called Is It Do You or Do You Do It? I'm pretty sure that's the title. And I'm going to link to that in the description, and I'm going to link to that in the outro card in this video. But I've got some really deep insights coming up for you guys on this channel. I've experienced, I actually had the thought in my head that when I was having one of these Satori-like experiences, and I explained very little bit of the whole experience. I just shared those examples where they just both happened to be at 7-Eleven, and I felt like love overtake me, and I kind of just knew what to say to a person. And those are just two small experiences in like the string of experiences where I was in this ultra state of high consciousness. But I just kind of wanted to end this video with, ask yourself in every decision you make, is this coming out of love, or is this self-serving ego? And what I'm talking about is beyond language. It's more of a feeling within you, a feeling from your inner heart. But the love energy is letting go and trusting life. And the feeling I get when I'm acting from this love energy is a feeling of I'm 2 feet off the ground, and that the universe is doing me. And it's an amazing experience. And as scary as life is, as scary as the universe is, I have complete trust in that the venture that everything going on is the most ecstatic adventure possible. And I'm really excited about the future. And I think the more congruent I am about these experiences, the more honest I am, that I have this ability, like that guy at 7-Eleven is going to go probably to like a church and be like, I met angels. They had big eyes, they knew exactly what to say, they were coming from this place of pure love. even though it was me and my friend on MDMA. But like I became a vesicle for love in that experience, and just to feel that love was amazing. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I'm truly coming from I'm trying my best to come from a place of non-ego. I'm not trying to be grandiose. It's hard to talk about these things kind of being humble because it's really far out there and bizarre things, and it's obviously I'm crazy. But I felt it, and it's real what's happening in life. And I think some awesome things are going to happen in the future. So, peace out, guys.